Hey, hey you. Psst, come here. Come here. Come here. I got something to tell you. Come here. ZORA doesn't exist. It never existed. And there you have it. 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. Clearly faster than a ZR1. No Photoshop, no editing, just driving down asphalt, bone stock E-Ray, right down to the paper air filter and the stock tires. For the last few months, years at this point, people have gone on every single Corvette forum and Facebook group about the ZORA Corvette. The ZORA Corvette has never existed. I'm going to put it out there now. It doesn't exist. You know what exists? The ZR1 Corvette, where you check a box for the front electric motor, just like you check a box for the front lift. Why do you guys think that GM is going to make a whole nother Corvette with a name they've never used in the last infinite amount of years? Yes, I get he was a famous engineer on the Corvette. GM's not going to make a ZORA Corvette. Just like when I had to listen to they're going to overlap the C7 and the C8 because nobody's going to buy the C8. So they're going to keep making the C7. Oh, and they're going to keep making it with manuals. Stop. Just stop. Somebody posts something. Some random anonymous person posts something on a Corvette forum. And because everybody else wants it to be true, well, it must be true. Hey, did you hear they're going to bring the manual transmission back in the C8? It's true. Spread the rumor. No, literally, somebody said that on the Corvette forum recently, not even like 3 years ago when the C8 was still coming out. No, somebody said it recently, and people jumped in the thread like, oh, it must be true. You people are fooled by this. You guys are going to fail at life now that AI-generated videos and pictures exist. Like, just don't. But anyway, so they tested a ZR1 non-all-wheel drive Corvette, the not ZR1E, which maybe that's what it's going to be called, ZR1E for electric, not ZORA. Anyway, they tested it. They got 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds, which is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it, because the E-Ray is supposed to do it in 2.4 and it's all-wheel drive, but it weighs 4,000 pounds. The Z06 that's already out weighs less and technically makes about 15 more horsepower, but because it's rear-wheel drive, it cannot match the 0 to 60 time because it's traction limited that the E-Ray can do. So the Z06 is actually slower 0 to 60 because it just can't put the power down, yet somehow they managed to do a 2.2 0 to 60 run in the ZR1. I don't think this is going to be repeatable in real life. And just to show how fast the E-Ray is, let me take my E-Ray out with the dash timer and get the fastest time you're going to see online, which means it absolutely has to be true. 1 second. All right. 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. My bone stock E-Ray is now officially faster than the ZR1 Corvette. It is what it is. It's on the internet. It must be true. Everything else is. So I think the real thing here is it's going to be like when they brought in the Dodge Demon. They helicoptered it in on this platform, lowered it down. It did this miraculous pass down the drag strip, and it ran 9s. And then everybody that takes the Dodge Demon to the Track Sense or even the Hellcat runs 11s because it doesn't put the power to the ground. It made one Hail Mary run, and 99% of the people, even on track prep surface cannot repeat that time. I think that's kind of what the ZR1 is going to be. You're going to get a bunch of people going, oh my gosh, my ZR1 does 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds. No, it doesn't. No, let's go line up out on the street with my E-Ray, and I guarantee you, I'm going to get to 60 faster than you are. You're 1 in a million Hail Mary chance. It just can't put the power down. It's cool to brag about. I'm sure everybody with the ZR1 is going to brag about it, and then they're going to lose 0 to 60 a bunch of E-Rays. But no. 0 to 60 is not important. Drag racing quarter mile is not important. We haven't been doing that since the beginning of time. No. What's important now is the 60 to 120, because that's what fits the stats that are impressive in my ZR1. So, of course, no other stat matters. And what's important is circular track times, even though 99% of drivers are never going to take their car to a track. And even if you take your car to the circular track, let's be honest, you're driving it 90% of the time. You maybe track it once a month, once every couple weeks even during the summer. So even then, you're still driving it stoplight to stoplight 90% of the time. But, because that stat is important, you're going to say that's the most important stat ever because that's what your car is good at. That's great. I get it. You're really going to be hurt when the all-wheel drive version comes out, because no matter how good your 0 to 60 time is, when the all-wheel drive version of the ZR1 comes out, that's not going to be called ZORA, probably going to be called ZR1e, that is going to be the car. It is going to consistently put down the 0 to 60 times like the E-Ray does, just over and over and over again. Whatever the surface, no prep, just brake, gas, release, go. That is going to be the car of the beat. Everybody that spent $220,000 on a ZR1 is suddenly going to be like, oh, I don't have the fastest car around. And then they're going to be going on about, well, I have the last rear-wheel drive car, and that's a true car because all-wheel drive ruins the experience. Same way you had to hear about them go, well, I had the last manual Corvette, and it's not a true Corvette and not a driver's car now that it's not a manual anymore. Spoiler alert, there is always something bigger, better, and faster. The C9 will be bigger, better, and faster than the C8. The C10 will be better than the... This is how it goes. This is how they sell cars. You guys realize this, right? I don't think a lot of people do, though, because they're like, I bought the last Corvette that had pop-up headlights. It'll be worth a fortune. And then the C6 came out. Well, I bought the last Corvette that had round taillights. It'll be worth a fortune. And the C7 came out. I bought the last Corvette that had a manual transmission. It'll be worth a and then the C8 came out. Stop. It's a depreciating asset. They will keep coming out with better models because they want you to buy them. If they didn't, you would not buy the newest version. So just stop with your cherry pick stats, okay? Just stop. We know what the car is. We know it's impressive. You're going to be disappointed in the 0 to 60 times, I think. 2.2 is not realistic. It just can't put it down consistently. It's not going to be an E-Ray most of the time on the street. Yes, there's going to be a person that takes it to a really sticky track and mine shaft DA and gets that 2.2 0 to 60 time. I have no doubt about that. And everybody's going to clamor onto that person and see, I told you it can be done. It's like, no, yours can't do it. You can't do it driving yours. So stop, just stop. So anyway, that's my rant. I just wanted to put it out here that I don't think the ZORA is going to be a thing. I think ZRA might be an RPO code, but I never thought ZORA was actually a thing. It was just something the internet invented, unfortunately. And I also wanted to show that the E-Ray, of course, does 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. You guys can tell me in the comments, how'd I do that? Because you can't program the computer to say what you want. That legitimately is what a bone stock computer came up with for the time. Everything I said was true. The car is 100% stock. You saw it on the road. So that wasn't even on launch control at a 1.9. Launch control, heck, it might do a 1.8. We don't know. So You guys tell me in the comments how I did that. And tell me if you think still that there's a ZORA coming, or if you think it's really just going to be an option on the ZR1. Maybe it'll be called the ZR1e. All right, thanks for listening to my ramblings. Do me a favor, like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Remember, 1.9 fastest C-ray that's stock in existence. Saw it on the internet, it's true.